Thank you. Yeah, that is a very great question, actually. Kind of have to think about it for a second. For me, I kind of feel like I'm actually relatively new to this all, and actually there's plenty of things that we have talked about in our videos and such that I personally need to actually take action on, and kind of this process has helped me understand that more. So for me, I think this community is a really great source of inspiration and understanding for me. But I think for me, it's just understanding where I can go from here. I know what I have to change in my personal life, and that is up to me, but now it's where, I guess, where do we go for the bigger picture now? I think for me, that's the biggest question.
Right. And that was my question, actually. I'm so appreciative of what you're doing.
We're going to get a few questions.
Why don't you get the microphone? What was the question?
I think for me, I've known about it, and I am actually in the environmental club on Freddie Harbor. I think it's just I'm fully aware of what the problem is and how many different solutions or many different things we need to change. But I think I need to be more committed to it. I understand what I have to do, but I need to be more committed to everything since it's such a huge change between going completely consuming so many things and then going completely sustainable. I just need to be more aware about my actions, and I just need to. And another big barrier I feel like at schools is to just get people more interested in it, because I feel like there's so many different things homework, their classes, they're just not completely focused on their future necessarily, but they need to focus on that more. So just getting the word out there at the school. So yeah.
I feel like what I struggle with at our school is that there's not enough people who are actually really interested in getting involved, and I feel like some people just think that it's going to get solved by itself, and they're just counting on other people to do something about it, but that's really not going to work. So we all really need to take accountability for what's going on, and we all really need to step up. Yeah. So.
Joyce, stand up.
In the front, oh, actually, yeah, let's let her continue her question.
Is this on?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry for interrupting, but I have this question that I'm here on Lopez. It's wonderful, this is so wonderful, but I'm from Pennsylvania, and I have no idea how I can activate our side of the country or the rest of the country, so I'm assuming you guys are planning that, right? How can you activate the country with this crisis? Film is great, and how you get your film out, there's all kinds of things that you should be thinking about since you're stepping up, You have that courage. I want to see more. What do you say? What are you going to do? What are your plans?
Yeah, thank you for that addition. I think that I think connecting communities really is important, and my hope is that mediums like video and these kind of things that can be spread so easily with the access of the internet now. My hope is that things like that can be helpful, but I think also just combining communities together will build a larger community. But for my personal addition, I'm hoping that my creations and my way of spreading the word can have some kind of impact.
I also think joining global climate strikes is a great way to connect everyone, and if there's another one coming up, I'm sure there is, I'm not sure when it is, but I think it's really important for everyone to get involved, because it really gives people a sense that everyone's connected and we're all working together.
Yeah, what they said, connecting communities and stuff. Also, just being active at your school you're going to really helps, getting everyone involved with that.
Yeah, honestly, just trying to make people more aware of what's going on in the rest of the world, and trying to, get involved in actions that can help toward a better community and environment around you.
Probably using reusable products and sustainable products personally, since you're in Pennsylvania and you came here. But writing articles or politics or whatnot, and I think just making an effort and being aware of what's going on.
So you will be writing articles then? That will be published on the internet for all to see?
This video is available on the internet.
Yeah, but how are we getting it out to people?
We'll be doing our best.
Okay,
Yeah.
good job.
That answers your question.
Good job.
Bella, while you've got the mic, could you tell people about your table of stuff there and how you got into doing that?
Oh, that's my table down there. It's called Sustainable San Juan Islands. I do a Sustainable San Juan Islands. I do a sustainable product line, and I have a silverware set. So basically, it's cutlery set that's sustainable wood, silverware, stainless steel straws, biodegradable veggie bags. So all reusable bags, basically. Yeah.
When did you start that?
Late July. Not
Wow.
that long ago. Do you have a question?
Do you think there are any other ways that we could help with making schools more eco-friendly and teachers realizing about how our future is impacted by climate change? Because if we're going to school to learn about our future, but our future is going to be nothing, then there's no point. So,
I think it's really important for teachers to understand, but if teachers are just not getting into that, you need to do something about it. Like, you can just go to the beach or something and pick up trash. Like, I remember doing that as a kid. Just finding activities that you can do in, like, as a class or as a whole school. Like, you don't necessarily need to get teachers involved with that. You can get, like, families, different community, like, the whole community involved with that. I think you can also just, like, talk. You don't just talk to your teachers about it, just about how you're worried about it. If they just won't listen to it, just do something.
I can't speak on behalf of the parts of the actual school, but I think that it would be a worthwhile thing to try having students maybe speak publicly to the school and to the younger kids, so people who are already involved in trying to build a better future for everyone. I think it'd be good for younger kids to hear from us or from teachers about this. You've had your hand up for a while.
So this is just following up on what I had said before. For all of the people at our school who do go to Sunset, do you know if any of them have been thinking about how that's impacting everything?
I think some have, but I don't think the majority have. And again, like I said, I've learned a lot from this, and I think that it's, I know I personally have plenty to improve on there. And I think that, again, the ability of, our ability to share our beliefs about this to our friends and to other people in the school, I think will make more of an impact than just the kids seeing it online or hearing teachers speak about it. I think that it'll be more important for people closer to their age to say something about it. I feel like that has more of an impact on them. In the back, Chris?
I'm just curious if any or either of you would like to share kind of the aha moment. Like at one point you're a happy-go-lucky child and everything seems great, and maybe you want an iPod or something, and then all of a sudden you're on your stage with the deep concerns about the future of humanity on this beautiful little planet. Like, can you share a moment that led to that?
Absolutely, that's a great question. For me, it was fairly recent. I always knew that this was a big problem, but the reason I believe so strongly that hearing from other students is so important is because in the process of making this short film that I had the privilege of sharing, hearing my friends talk about this really made, I think, the biggest impact on me. And I think that's what kind of taught me what was so important about the project I was doing. I knew beforehand that it was important, but I think that moment, listening to them, interviewing them about this, really taught me how important it was to everyone around us and for everyone to be involved. So that was the aha moment for me.
I feel like I've always known about climate change, and it was like always in the back of my mind. But I always thought of it as like a distant thing that like wasn't here yet, and like we didn't have it wasn't like right now, which didn't make sense. And like when I was a kid, I would think about the future like something that I was looking forward to, and like I was really excited about it. But now it's more like I don't know what our future is going to be like, and I'm kind of scared for our future if we don't do anything about it. So it's been like slowly, like my aha moment has slowly been like coming, I guess. It's taken a while, and it wasn't like a certain moment, but like the more I like hear about what's going on, and the more like the news is showing about like the like like all the storms that are happening and the sea levels rising, that's like all proving to me how like real this is and how it's like happening right now. And it's not something that's like in the future or it's like happening. Yeah, it's current and it's right now, and I'm like starting to realize that.
I'm definitely agreeing with Sarah. I think it's more of a gradual thing for me. I feel like it was always kind of hard for me. I always knew about it ever since when I was like a little girl or anything. But I think it was harder for me because I lived on this island, and it's just so hard to realize that climate change is happening because like we're not affected by it here. So I think my aha moment was when I started going to school to Freddie Harbor, and my science teacher there was just amazing. She taught me so much, and I went to this presentation where Al Gore spoke, and it was like this 30-day, like this weekend thing where you would speak to you would hear like all of these people talk about how like we need to do something. That just like really inspired me to do something, and just like my parents are really like invested into it too. So just talking to my parents about it, I remember one time I was talking to my parents about it, and it just hit me so hard. I was just so freaked out about it. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. It's just so hard to imagine that, like, some generations may not even see a planet like this. It's just insane to think about.
I think like it's definitely been pretty recent, but it's gradually been like growing on me, especially since I've been learning about all the global strikes and everything that people are trying to do. And I've always thought of it like, especially when I was a kid, like it was a distant thing. Like they said, like we live on an island, we're not really affected by it. And I always kind of assumed that people were doing something about it, but then when I learned more about what's actually going on, like across the globe, some people aren't really doing stuff about it, and so I kind of started, realizing that we need to start in our community and, do this little strikes that we're doing, that we did a couple of, and there wasn't really a moment. It's been gradually, coming, just like we said.
I recently moved here from Sacramento, California, so I was definitely aware of the plastic all over the streets and everywhere, and we would take family trips to Monterey, California, and we'd go see the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and we would go behind the scenes tour and see absolutely the most beautiful things, octopus opening jars and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've always been consciously aware of the plastic and the global warming, but since I've moved here, I was like, wait, this is completely different. I just thought it wasn't real, and then, when you think about it, like all around the world, you're like, wow, all this pollution everywhere, and it's like we have to do something now. And I don't know if we will have a future. You never really know, and it's sad personally, but hopefully we can do something.
Ona?
I really appreciate what you and I'm wondering if you'll show the film in other places, because I feel really privileged I got to watch it twice.
Thank you so much for saying that. I mean, I really appreciate that, and it's great to hear that this really does help impact people. And I do think that after you saying that, I think I will look for maybe other places to share this. And again, I will have it online, and so I will also be trying to get that outside of the community as well, as best I can.
Is it on YouTube now?
It'll be on YouTube Monday.
And you have a website?
I do have a website
Called?
MatthiasR@myportfolio.com.
Well, I'll remember that, I know.
Look me up on social media.
Sir, you want to
Just repeat one more time.
MatthiasR.myportfolio.com. It will be changing soon, so.
Can we put it on the transition website?
Yeah, we'll do
Yes.
that.
That's easier.
If we can get a copyright permission.
No, absolutely.
You have one more question you have to ask?
Do you think it's important for, like, tiny children, smaller, like her age, to be, and younger, to be educated about climate change?
Absolutely. I do think tiny children absolutely need to be educated as soon as possible. But on a serious note, I think that's a great point, and our school, I am really proud of our school for how it educates students, but I still think there can be more done, like I mentioned, possible student speeches or lectures. But I mean, it all comes down to just how different students and youth interact with each other. I think it's great when parents are able to educate their children as well, but I think just having an awareness at an early age, even that can be extremely helpful.
Yeah, I agree with Matthias. I think it's really important for parents to educate their children about what's going on and to not like sugarcoat it and like say like, oh, it's fine, like our Earth is fine, when it's really not, because then it'll hit them really hard when they find out the truth. And I think that has helped me like a lot to like be where I am now. My parents educating me about the Earth and like what I can do, the small things that I can do to help it.
Yeah, definitely 100%. People need to educate other, like, smaller kids about climate change as soon as possible. Yeah. Any more? Oh.
No, we're out of time. Let's give a hand for these kids.